Hey Shane, how valuable individually was the preseason for you, learning the mechanics and the protocol as a head coach on the sideline?
Yeah, I think that's big. You get 3 games preseason. I think it's huge, just the communication part of it with the staff, with the players, just the operation, everything. It's obviously a good tune-up for the first week.
Shane, Frank talked about like yards per attempt as a key quarterback metric for him. Do you have the key quarterback metrics that you point to of passer rating? Yards
I think that's a big part of it. Yards per attempt is a big part of it. Obviously, you want to be explosive in the pass game, and when you can get yards per attempt and get those things up, I think it definitely helps in the pass game. And just being efficient, you know, completion percentage is a big part of it, but at the same time, like you want to create the explosive plays. It's not everything to it, but the yards per attempt is definitely a big part of it.
Shane, you hear about players all the time talking about getting ready for week 1, how jacked up they are for the first week. You as a coach, your first NFL game as a head coach, give me your thoughts as you get ready for this week.
Fired up, excited to go out there and work with these guys. You know, I say that it's all about the players, you know what I mean, and putting these guys in position to make plays and making sure they're ready to go. But just excited for the opportunity, fired up for week 1, obviously get a home game against a division opponent. I know Lucas Oil will be rocking. Fans will be fired up. We're excited.
Shane, is Shaq and EJ out of protocol?
EJ is. Shaq's still in it, but he's progressing really well.
Zach Moss going to practice today?
Yes, he will.
Shane, are there some things that Anthony has picked up more quickly than you expected he would at this point?
Yeah, I think part of it is just the preparation and just the terminology, learning the system, you know what I mean, and putting him in position like we talk about to make plays. But I'm really pleased with where he's at mentally, learning the system. Obviously, there's going to be things in the games that the first time he's seen it, going against new opponents. I'm sure they're going to throw looks at us that they haven't seen on tape, but just being able to adjust to those.
Shane, we've talked about that fine line with Anthony as a runner, like kind of protecting himself and that kind of thing. But on the other side of that, what's the calculation for a defender trying to tackle that guy when it comes to getting tough yards?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, that's one of his superpowers is getting out of the pocket and running and creating explosive plays. So it is definitely tough on a defense when you got to account for the quarterback as a runner. And obviously we got to be smart. There's a time and a place to go get it, and there's a time to be smart and get down or get out of bounds. So we've had those conversations, and see it on Sunday.
Fair to say that creating explosive plays is kind of the North Star, if you will, for the offense? Like,
I think with most offenses around the league, yeah, you want to create explosive and you want to limit them on the defensive side of the ball. You know, I think if you look around the league, winning the turnover battle, winning explosive play battle is a big formula to winning around this league. Is it everything? No, but it's a huge part of it. But we got to take care of the football and we got to get takeaways.
James, the play caller, how do you handle the unknown of week 1 of just not knowing what they might run, knowing that they might not know what you might
I think it's being able to adjust on the sideline. You know, you hear about, adjustments at halftime. I think a lot of those adjustments happen on the sideline during the game, and then at halftime you're talking through adjustments, but you're also talking about what you want to run in the second half. But I think the communication part with the coaches and the players, just being on the same page. If they're throwing something new at us, we just got to be ready to adjust quickly.
How have you seen Anthony kind of walk that line between being super hyper-focused but also having fun? Because he mentions that, I think, in almost every interview. And I don't know if you hear that a lot from players at this level, that it is still, a game.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, he is very focused. He was in here yesterday for, 8 hours, getting ready for this game on his day off, grinding away. So he's prepared, he's ready. We got to have a great week of practice. I truly believe, the preparation throughout the week has a huge factor on how you play on Sunday. So we got to have a great practice. He's got to have a great practice. We've got to give great looks on the scout team so we can be ready to go.
This has nothing to do with you. Go ahead.
For the first time, Josh Downs was listed as the top receiver for the slot position. What went into that decision?
Just the growth he's made through training camp and just his route running ability and what he brings. He's a speed guy. He's got a great feel on how to run routes. He's got great hands. Excited to see him go and perform on Sunday.
You weren't here for this, obviously, but it hasn't been a long time since the Colts won an opener. I've probably heard that. No idea? Okay. No. 2013, right? Anyway. So now that I've ruined your day, is there some sort of mental, aspect when you start wanting to know? Obviously, winning every week is a goal, but is there something beyond that when it's the season opener?
Yeah, I think when you win your first home opener or wherever you're on the road, I think it gives your team confidence. That even if you lose the game, it doesn't mean you lose confidence. It's a long season. I mean, you got 17 weeks of a grind. You don't know how this thing's going to play out. But yeah, I mean, obviously you want to win every game, and obviously the first one's a big one.
Yesterday, Gus Bradley talked about the benefit of going against a skilled offense like Jacksonville, just defensively. But collectively as a team, how beneficial is it to go against a team like Jacksonville that seems to be really strong both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, just looking at their defense, I think it starts on the outside with Walker and Allen, really good players. Campbell, the corner, is really good, and then Williams on the other side of him is good. And then the nickel, Herndon's good player, and Cisco and Jenkins on the back end, and then you got solid linebackers inside with Lloyd. And they're stout up front. It's going to be a heck of a challenge week one. They've been playing together. Obviously, it's year two in the system for them, so we got to be ready to go. And then offensively, just with Trevor Lawrence, he gets the ball to his hands quick. He's going into year three. He's playing at a high level. They got big-time playmakers on the outside with Jones and Christian Kirk, and obviously getting Ridley is a big piece of that. And then the backs, 1, ETN, and 4, they're good runners. And then 17, Ingram, the tight end, he's explosive. I mean, when he gets the ball in his hands, he can make a lot of plays. So we got to limit the explosive against these guys, and we just got to be on it on both sides of the ball.
I want to go back to Josh for a second. He and Anthony obviously are super close. What's it been like watching that relationship blossom over the past few months, and how much do you think that's going to help them?
Yeah, no, it's been huge. Obviously, starting, when they got drafted, you kind of saw it early on, and then just even in practice, just routes, they're always talking after a play. And that to me is great growth of just being on the same page. So they're thinking the same way on certain routes and seeing it the same way. And I think when you do that, week in and week out and over the years as they grow together, I think it could be really special.
Shane, it seems like just yesterday you're getting introduced here in February, at least to me it does. How fast has this time gone by for you as you hit the ground running?
It's wild. You look back, I was thinking about it the other day, just my first time getting in the league. You know what I mean? It's been now 13 years and now sitting here, and obviously, you go through that operation through OTAs and training camp, and it flies by. I think the older you get, the faster it goes. And so just cherish every moment. Be prepared as possibly as you can to help this football team win.
Shane, anything you're curious about yourself come Sunday, the first time going through it all with so much?
No, I mean, just trust your preparation. That's how I look at it. Obviously, you got the tune-up games like we talked about in the preseason, but just trust your preparation. Go out there, have fun, be you. Call the game like I've been calling them for a couple years, and then obviously the flip side of that is being ready to go when the defense is up with challenge flags and all that stuff. But I'm looking forward to it.